Hi, welcome to North Central Texas College First Year Experience Kickoff. My name is Amy Clone, and I'm the Senior Director of the Completion and Career Services here at NCTC. And I just want to welcome you to our first FYE kickoff for spring 2021 semester. So we've got our Completion Center and Career Services team on the call here, and they are going to be your first year experience instructors. And so today we are going to just really give you some insight into what is first year experience, what does it look like, what's involved, what can you expect, and give you kind of a chance to ask us any questions. We are going to introduce ourselves in just a moment, but before we do, if you have questions during this session, if you are watching us live, and sorry, we had a tiny technical difficulty, so we're a few minutes late, but if you're watching us live, you can text your question to 940-202-7814. And in just a minute, we're going to have a slideshow, and that phone number will be up on the slides. And then at the end of our session, we will have a time where we will answer some questions for you. But we're going to really give you a lot of information today about what first year experience is and what you can expect when classes start next week. All right, so I am going to turn it over to Beth. She is actually going to share her screen with us. And so you should see a PowerPoint come up in just 1 second, and that's going to take us through the information that we want to share with you today. And so Beth is going to share that, and we will get started. But again, I just want to welcome you. We're so glad that you're here. We're glad that you are attending North Central Texas College, and we hope that this first year experience course will give you just insight and information and help you to be successful. All right, and so again, we're going to go through some information today that will give you, like I said, insight into some things that you'll need to know when you start next week. And so some of the coaches are going to do that. Some of these things are technical things that are specific to NCTC. Some of these things are things that we're using. Maybe you're taking online classes for the first time. And so we're going to share some information about that, how to access things that will help you to be successful. So those are some of the things that we'll go through today. And now we're going to just take a moment and introduce ourselves. As I said, my name's Amy, and I work with the Success Coaches and Career Services. And then I will turn it over to Daphne.
Hello, I'm Daphne Riddle, and I'm the Director of Career Services and the Quality Enhancement Plan.
All right, Katie.
I'm Katie Chernyshevsky. I'm a success coach at Corinth.
Danae.
Hi, I'm Danae Mitchell. I am a success coach on the Flower Mound campus.
Awesome. Shannon.
Hi, I'm Shannon Solomon. I'm a career advisor on the Corinth campus.
Awesome. Geraldine.
Hi, I'm Geraldine Gaines, career coach at the Corinth and Flower Mound campus.
And Beth.
Hi, I'm Beth, and I'm a success coach at the Corinth campus.
And Christy.
Hi, my name is Christy Rains, and I'm a success coach on the Gainesville campus.
And Desiree.
Hello, I'm Desiree Dratlow, and I'm a success coach for the Bowie and Graham campuses.
Awesome. And then Mark Kortz is one of our career advisors, and he's located on the Gainesville campus. And he couldn't be on the call with us today, but he is a first year experience instructor as well. All right. And so I am going to turn it over to Danae, and she is going to share with you some information about OneLogin.
All right, so OneLogin is the portal that you will use to access all of your NCTC student accounts. This includes Canvas, your student email, along with some other things that are important to you. You should have received an email from us, one of the first emails that you've received from NCTC. And in that, it will have your username and the default password that you will use. What you'll do to start off, you'll see at the top of the NCTC page a logo for One Login. It's a black dot with a 1 in it. You'll click on it and it'll take you to the screen that we have up here. On there, you're going to type in the username that you've been assigned. That username is going to have your last name, your first initial, and 6 digits. And then in the password section, and this is your default password, you will type in a capital A, lowercase z, a pound, or some people call it the hashtag symbol. It's going to have your student ID number and 2 zeros at the end. So I've provided an example of what it would look like here. It's kind of a long password, but this is the only time that you'll have to do it. You will have to create a new password. So just make sure it's something that you can remember. And one thing I want you all to remember is that you cannot use your name, your first or last name in that password. So try to come up with something different, write it down, save it in your phone, do what you have to do to be able to save it. From there, once you've created your password, it will ask you to create some security questions. These security questions are there so that in case you happen to forget, maybe you lose your phone, you don't have your notes anymore, and you're not able to remember your password, or you need to change it for whatever reason, it gives you an opportunity to change it. There's going to be 6 different security questions. There is a drop-down screen that you can click on and select a question or create a customized question. So don't feel like the ones that pop up originally are ones that you have to answer. And again, try to come up with answers that you will remember. Once you've completed the security questions, you'll have terms and conditions. You can read through, scroll, and accept. And then it will take you to a landing page. It will ask you on there to install this on your Chrome. Chrome and Firefox are the best, the most user-friendly internet sources for you to use. So we recommend those. The installation will just create a secure pathway for your One Login. It'll show up on your URL bar, and you can click on it, automatically log in, and it will take it from there. The really nice thing about One Login is once you log into this, it automatically logs you into all of your other portals. So it is important that you go ahead and set it up. If you have any issues or problems with it, please don't hesitate to reach out for help. Our IT team is great, and they can help you with getting it taken care of.
Great, thank you, Danae. And as Danae said, it is really important. It seems, kind of simple to do this login, but it is important and will give you access to a lot of information, and we don't want that to be a hindrance for you. So great information. And now I'm going to turn it over to Katie, and she is going to share with us some information about Canvas, which is our learning management system. So Katie, it's all you.
Okay, so once you are logged into your NCTC portals through One Login, you'll see a tile called Canvas. You'll click on that. This is where you're going to access the actual classwork for your courses. So we have an example on this screen of what it looks like. You can see a purple box, a red box, and a green box. We'll pretend that the green box is your NCTC 101 or FYE class. I know a lot of students are used to using Canvas or something similar, especially if they've been in school within the past year. But we just wanted to give you kind of a little preview of what this looks like. Basically, each of your courses is going to have a box that you click on. And when you click on it, you'll see something similar to this second screenshot on here. You can see on this example screenshot, it says like week 1, introduction, syllabus. Those are really common things that you're going to see in your Canvas classes your first week. And then every class will have similar links on the left-hand side. It'll have grades, assignments, a link to your syllabus, sometimes discussion boards. But the really key one in most classes is the one called modules, which generally takes you back to all of your main content and links everything all together. Just a couple quick things to note. One is that there is an inbox and messaging feature on Canvas that is separate from your Lion Pride student email, which we'll talk about in a second. It's kind of like private messaging on a social media site. Some instructors use Canvas messaging, some use email, and some use both. But just be careful that when you're sending a message, you're messaging the correct class, like messaging just the instructor if that's what you want. And then another pro tip that is on the right-hand side of the screen, you can actually color code your courses on here, and then they will color code themselves on your Canvas calendar so you can easily see what you have coming up if you are more of a visual learner.
Awesome. Thank you, Katie. So yeah, Canvas, some of you, as she said, you might be familiar with that. But for those that are not, we want to make sure you know how to access that, because that is how you will need to access your courses next week. And you will use that whether you're face-to-face or fully online. A lot of our face-to-face use those to turn in assignments and things like that. And there is a great help feature within Canvas. And so once we get more into the course, we'll be able to share more information with you, but we just want to make sure that you can access it for sure when our classes start next week. And now Danae is going to share with you a little bit about within Canvas, how to do some conferencing options there.
Yes, so some of you may be in what's called a synchronous online class. If you are, you will know that you are. If you're not, don't worry about it. But the synchronous online, as well, your professors might offer virtual office hours. You will use something called WebEx, which is a format that you can use to basically have a virtual meeting. You can access this in your Canvas course. So what you would do, you would log into your one login, select Canvas, click on the course that you want to start. In there, you will see an option that says Cisco WebEx. So I've got an arrow right next to it. It might be in a different place on your class, but just look for the Cisco WebEx and you will click on that. And it will take you to this page. So if you are taking a synchronous online class, you'll have virtual meetings. And if the class has already started, it will have a green button that says join. So you will click the join button and then it'll take you to another page. So you see my face. It will just kind of let you know what's happening. So it'll let you know if you're unmuted, if your camera is on or off. You can make adjustments there as you need to, and then click join meeting. So like I said, just make sure that you make adjustments. If you don't want to have a whole bunch of noise going on, or if you're not ready for your camera to be on, make sure that you select those things as needed. And just some helpful features for you if you've never used WebEx before. The first one is that you can mute and unmute yourself. So there is a button for that. For classes, I would just recommend keeping yourself muted unless there's an opportunity that you want to either participate with the class, like your professor's asking you to do that, or if you have a question. Otherwise, it's best to just keep it mute so that any background noises or anything like that is not distracting the class. You can also choose to have your video on or off. So if it's red, it means it's off. If it's green, it means that it is on. You have an opportunity to share a screen. You may not have this in your class because you have to have permission to do that, but possibly during office hours, it might be helpful for you to share a specific document so that you can explain something to your professor. So if that's necessary, they will give you that option. There is a little smiley face. That is our reaction button. You can leave different emojis. A lot of times this helps your professor. They might ask you to do this to let let them know that you're still following along, that you're still on track, or maybe that you need help or have a question. And finally, we have a chat feature. So the chat feature, you can read different messages that your class may have sent. You can also post questions or different comments there. You do have an option to send it to the class or maybe privately message your professor on there as well. So just make sure if you use that, you see that different, you see the specific name that you want to individually chat. Other than that, WebEx is, you know, it might be something new, but if you're having trouble with accessing it, always reach out for help. Let somebody know so we can help make sure that you get on track. And if you're in a synchronous online class, you definitely should expect to have regular virtual meetings in your class. So try to set that time kind of like you would if you were in an in-person class. Put it on your calendar, your schedule. Try to make sure that you don't have too many distractions around you. You know, turn off the TV. Maybe if you have pets or something, well, people like pets, so you might keep your pets out. But if you have like a dog that barks sometimes, you might just try to make sure all of that is situated and organized. You've got your notes ready to go like a normal class.
Great. Thank you, Danae. Oh, go ahead.
One last thing. You have already been assigned a WebEx account whenever you set up, like whenever you get started here at NCTC. So you don't need to worry about going into WebEx or creating an account or anything like that. We've already got one set up. So you would just simply go into Canvas in your course, click on the Cisco WebEx, and it'll be ready to go.
Great. Thank you, Danae. And some of the information that we're sharing is from questions that we've been getting from students. And so we just want to make sure that you have the information and know how to access some of these features. And so now Katie is going to share with you a little bit about our student email that you'll hear us refer to as your Lion Pride email.
Right, so your Lion Pride, your student email, your student Outlook account, these are all the same thing. It's all your student email. This is very important for students to get used to checking regularly. This is also one of the links on your One Login page. So you'll see a little Outlook icon that says Lion Pride student email. And when you click on it, you'll see a page similar to what's on the screen. And this links not just to your email, but also to Office 365. So Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all of these programs which you might likely need for your classwork. But let's start with the email first. So when you click on Outlook the very first time, it will ask you to set up your time zone. And then after that, your email is set up. That's the only thing that you need to do. You can either check your email just by going to the screen every day when you log in through One Login, or you can use the Outlook app on your phone, or you can actually go into the email settings on Outlook here and forward your messages to a personal email account. That's the one that I personally like because then you are sending your messages to an email account that you hopefully already check. But some people like to keep them separate. That's fine too, as long as you check it in some way. And then also through this Office 365 screen, you'll see next to Outlook links to Word, Excel, PowerPoint. They're kind of similar to how when you use Google Drive, you have Google Docs and Google Sheets. They will save all your work into the cloud here. So if you log into One Login from another location, then you can still access your work. However, there will be a link on your page to download the Office software to your computer if you want a full version of like Excel for maybe a spreadsheets class that you're taking or something like that.
Great, thank you, Katie. Again, you will have access to all of this information once the course starts, but we just want to make sure that you know kind of those things that are important to know as you begin the course. And then I did want to remind you, if you are watching us live right now, you can, if you've got questions, you can text those questions to 940-202-6000. 7814. We have one of our success coaches monitoring that. And if you're watching this maybe as a recording, you can still text that number anytime that comes to the Completion Center, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. And so now I'm going to turn it over to Beth, and she's going to share a little bit with you about my NCTC.
Okay, sorry about that. So my NCTC, you can get to my NCTC through your one login. I like to describe it more as the business side of school. So class related things are all going to go through Canvas, and anything that is like non-class related is going to be on my NCTC. And most things are going to go through this student services tab that is pointed out here. And we're going to go, I'm just going to show you the kind of two most important things, where to find your schedule and how to set up your payment plan. So once you get into your one login, and it should automatically log you into your My NCTC, then you'll go to that Student Services tab, and then right over there on the right where that arrow is, that's going to be your schedule. So that has all of the information that you're going to need for your classes, whether they're in person or synchronous or online. You'll have your instructor's name, all of that. And then there's also the place where you can add and drop classes. So you can search for different classes, maybe next semester, if you're trying to figure out what your schedule is going to look like. You can go there to look for different courses. And then to pay your account, you're going to look over on the left side, and there's a financial section. So you click on that, and it'll show where your account is. It'll say My Account or View Your Account Balance. And then that's where you can go to set up a payment plan. You can pay in full, or you can select the year and the term, and you set up a payment plan through Herring Bank. So you might hear the word that Herring Bank, that's who we use to set up all payment options for all of your classes. So I think that's kind of pretty much all there is on payment. So if you have any questions, if you've got any problems, if you have financial aid questions, or if you have a problem with your account, your success coach, your FYE instructor is definitely someone to go to. And then if you need to be kind of directed to financial aid or something, we can let you know who to contact if you have any problems.
Great, thanks, Beth. And as she said, My NCTC is a great place where a lot of your kind of business type information is held, and so it's a great place to go and to find information on a variety of things. And now I'm going to turn it over to Desiree, and she's going to share a little bit about just how we engage with our students and some things like that. And again, I want to remind you, if you have any questions while you're watching this, you can text those to 940-202-7814. And then when Desiree is finished, I will kind of go over some other frequently asked questions that we've been receiving.
First off, I want to encourage all of you to go and download the North Central Texas College app. When you go to find that, it's going to have the lion head on it, and it'll say NCTC underneath it. And that's going to be a great resource for everyone. Even as success coaches, we're in part of that. You have a whole page where you can ask questions, sell books. I mean, it's a great resource for all of you to have and access. And then follow us on all of our social media platforms by going at CC at NCTC. Sorry, that just did not come off my tongue very well. But we encourage you guys to reach out to us, to follow us. We always put any upcoming events that are going to be happening that are associated with NCTC or the Completion Center on all of our social media platforms. So don't hesitate to get involved and be a part of what we have to offer all of you.
Great, thanks, Desiree. And as she said, we do try to communicate different things through our different social media platforms, things that are going on with the Completion Center and just things that are going on at NCTC in general, or we share things from other places like student organizations or affinity groups, lots of different resources. And so as we kind of close out the call, I did want to remind you, you can text any questions to 940-202-7814, whether you're watching us live right now or you're watching this recorded. You can text questions at any time to that number and one of us will get back with you. Just a couple of things though, some questions that we do have a lot. I wanted to share with you a helpful link on our website. On our main page, it's nctc.edu. On the main page, there's a link for student services, and that will take you to our student service webpage, which has links to all of our departments, and each one of those has some really helpful resources. If you click on the counseling and advising link, that will take you to a page called Meet Your Advisor, and all of the success coaches are listed there. All of the advisors are listed there. At NCTC, we assign you to an advisor or a success coach based on your pathway or major of study. And so that information is there. Lots of great resources. We also have a Canvas group. So once you get into Canvas next week, when classes start, you'll see that you'll be added to a group called All Student Advising. And we really try to post helpful information in that group as well. And so we'll make announcements in there regarding class registration, events that are coming up, ways to get connected. And so that's a great resource for you. There's different modules there. There's also information on any sort of COVID updates related to our campus. There's information on what we call our health check. And so that is required for all students. And so you can get information there on how to check in. We want to make sure that we're providing a safe environment for you. If you are coming onto campus, you will be required to have a temperature check at the entrance of that campus and then fill out that health check, just so we know that if you're coming on campus, that you're healthy and ready to go. And so that information is in that All Students Advising. It's also, you can find information, as Desiree said, on the NCTC app, and just anywhere in your Play Store, just search NCTC and you'll find that app there. All right. Christy, I don't think we have any other questions so far. So again, just a few other things. We've mentioned a couple of different times some class formats. And so, since we kind of entered the season of COVID, we've navigated through, we do have a few different class formats. You may have a face-to-face course. We do have some courses that are meeting on campus face-to-face. And so on your schedule that Beth was showing you in My NCTC, if you have a face-to-face course, there'll be a campus code, either like you'll see GV, COR, FLM for Flower Mound. So you'll see that campus and you'll see a room number, and there'll be days and times. And so that's how you know that it is a face-to-face course and meeting on those campuses. Again, you'll have a temperature check when you come into the entry point. All of our campuses have one entry point. Some of our campuses have multiple buildings, and so each building has one entry point. And so you'll enter there. We do have hand sanitizing stations. If you are in a face-to-face course, they are distanced. Some seats are blocked off and things like that. So trying to keep you as safe as possible when you are on campus. You may have what Danae referred to as a synchronous online course. And so on your schedule, it shows online, but it does show some days and times. And so that is when you would need to log into Canvas, make sure that you're set up in that course. Your instructor will send you information next week in Canvas on how to access that WebEx, but like Danae showed you, that's kind of how you'll interact with that course. Some of those instructors will record a session, and they may be live and available to talk to you during that time, but then they'll have some of the recordings available other times. So there's some options within that. Just be sure you're communicating with your professor and making sure that you're checking into Canvas during those times. We also have what's called hybrid. And so you might be coming to campus like one day a week or one day every other week, and then the rest of your coursework is online. And so again, you would look at your schedule and just see if you've got a campus and a room number. And then we have fully online courses, which are fully online. It does not mean that there's no deadlines. There are still deadlines for assignments. There may be times where your instructor is going to be live and posting some office hours. And when we talk about office hours with faculty, that is a time for you to interact with your faculty member, that they are available for questions and different things like that. And so they'll share that with you throughout the course. But fully online means typically you're doing your work at a time that works for you. Again, there are deadlines for assignments. If you have a test, it may be only open during a certain period. But basically, all of the coursework that you're doing, all of the participating, discussion, all of that is fully online. And so those are the different formats of our courses. We did have one question, let's see, about textbooks. So NCTC does partner with Follett for our bookstore, and we do have bookstores in Gainesville and Corinth and Flower Mound, and those bookstores are open. They have limited hours, but you can go, if you just search bookstore on our website, and that will take you there. But you can search for your textbooks online, and so you just go to the bookstore site, select a campus, you can select Gainesville, Corinth, any of those, and it'll take you to that Follett site. You will select the term spring 2021. You'll see like a search option. You'll select the term, and then it'll get more detailed where you can enter your course number, the course section, and all of that information can be found in your MyNCTC on that course schedule. And then that will tell you the textbook, and you can order that online. There's several different options for delivery, and so that can be based on what you need. Also, if you are receiving financial aid, it is possible that there's some options on there for you to utilize those financial aid funds to cover the cost of that book, and you'll see that customized information there. All right. Any coaches, did you guys have anything else you wanted to share? Were there any other questions that came up in the text? Okay. So I think that's all for our questions. Again, I do want to remind you, if you watch this and you have a question, feel free to text us. I'll say it one more time, 940-202-7814. And that just comes to our General Completion Center text. And you can text us anytime and we will get back to you during our office hours. But we just want to encourage you to connect. We know that things look different right now. Maybe you weren't planning to take online classes, but you are. The First Year Experience course will provide, again, it's going to give you a lot of information on how to navigate through college and navigate the systems that NCTC uses, like you've seen today on our presentation here, but really we'll also want to offer you a place to connect. And so there'll be some opportunities to discuss, to share, and things like that. And then, hopefully someday we can be on campus together. But for now, this is a great platform to utilize to do that. And as Desiree said, on the NCTC app, there is a place where students connect with each other. And so that's a great place too to connect virtually. Our student life organizations, they are having virtual events and things like that. So we're trying to provide as much connection as we can. But just encourage you to reach out to your FYE instructor if you have questions. Text us if you have questions. We want you to know that we're here for you. And if there's anything that we can help you with, we would love to partner with you and navigate through that with you. All right. So I think that concludes our presentation for today. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to text us 940-202-7814. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.